Well, hello. I would like to share with you how I make delicious sweet iced tea. Now, I learned to make iced tea from these two beautiful southern ladies, my grandmother and my mother. And yes, that is me in the middle there. In both households, sweet iced tea was consumed several times a week or daily. There was always a refreshing picture of iced tea in my grandmother's refrigerator, and a tea kettle always set on the stove, waiting for the next pot of water to be boiled. So, first, I thought it would be interesting to look at a brief history about tea in the United States. Second, I will tell you what items are needed in order to make sweet iced tea. And last but not least, I will provide the simple instructions for making sweet iced tea. So let's take a look at a few tidbits about the history of iced tea in the United States. Now, according to what'scookingamerica.net, in the 18th century, around 1795, South Carolina was the first place in the United States where tea was grown, and the only state to ever have produced tea commercially. In the 19th century, the oldest sweet tea recipe in print came from a community cookbook called Housekeeping in Old Virginia by Marion Cabell Tyree. It was published in 1879. After the 1900s, iced tea became a commonplace in cookbooks, and black tea began replacing green tea as the preferred tea for serving cold. Now, I hope you were as intrigued as I was by that bit of tea history. Next, let's look at what items are needed in order to make sweet iced tea. Well, you're going to need a tea kettle or a medium-sized saucepan. You're going to need 8 regular-sized tea bags or 2 family-sized tea bags. These are regular-sized. And we're going to use black tea for my recipe. We're not going to use green tea or any other type of flavored tea. Now, Lipton tea is my grandmother's preference. Don't bring any other type of tea in her house. It has to be Lipton. However, I have found suitable store brands, but I have also found out the hard way that not all brands are created equal. So buyers beware. We're also going to need 14 cups of water, 2 cups of granulated white sugar. No artificial sugars allowed in my recipe. We're going to use granulated white sugar. You also need a gallon-sized pitcher or container to hold the finished product. And lemons are an option. Now it's time to put it all together. And here's the simple recipe. Boil 6 cups of water in the kettle or saucepan. Once the water starts boiling, turn off the heat and add your tea bags. Fully submerge your tea bags in the hot water using a spoon. Don't do it with your fingers. And allow to steep or soak for about 5 minutes. The longer the steep, the stronger the tea. After the steeping period, go ahead and carefully remove the tea bags and discard. Allow to cool for another 5 minutes. Next, you want to measure 2 cups of sugar and then add that to your pitcher. Of course, my grandmother and mother, they didn't measure anything, using measuring cups. It was all by the eyes, like that looks like that's enough sugar. But we're going to use a measuring cup. So you pour your sugar into your container. And now you're ready to pour the hot tea from your kettle or your saucepan also into the picture. Be very careful when dealing with hot liquids. You want to stir until the sugar is completely dissolved. Now the final step, add those remaining 8 cups of cold water. And there you have it, my simple recipe for sweet iced tea. Now for added flavor, I like to actually slice an entire lemon and then just put it into my container with my tea. But everybody's a little different. So anyway, I would like to end by sharing 3 tea quotes from well-known people. First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "A woman is like a tea bag. You can't tell how strong she is until you put her in hot water." And we know that is so true. Famed theologian and Arthur C.S. Lewis said this about tea: "You can't get a cup of tea big enough or a book long enough to suit me." And television comedian Monty Python joked, "Make tea, not war." Bon appetit.